Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of The Last of Us Episode 4, the next episode trailer. I don't know how we're gonna move on after that Bill and Frank episode, but you know, the story is called The Last of Us, and there are more survivors to follow into this horrible, horrible nightmare. But you know, just to ease your pain, that painting that I thought showed Joel is actually a rendition of a photo of a slightly younger, but every bit as sexy Murray Bartlett from the HBO series Looking. How about you? I feel better now, so I think we can move on. And thanks to Grammarly for sponsoring this video, more on them later. This next episode promo doesn't give much away, but there are some really important details that you might have missed that can help us connect the dots to show the major ways this HBO series is going to diverge from the games, and just some deeper post-apocalyptic world details to unpack. Also, a reminder to subscribe to our new channel, The Deep Dive, launching February 17th, and we have a channel trailer coming this week to give you an idea of the amazing content we are working on. So subscribe at Deep Dive NR and hit that notification bell so that you will see it first. Because I know from the comments, all of you love to be first. Okay, let's check out this episode 4 trailer.
Oh, smells like burnt shit.
What's nice?
I'm all turned around.
Don't look at the state map.
This is my second day in a fucking car, man. Stop.
Please help!
Are we gonna help him?
No.
Okay, so after leaving Bill and Frank's in Bill's truck with that recharged truck battery, Joel and Ellie are spending some time camping in the woods. Why not just sleep in the car on the roadside? Well, that's how you get found and killed by some roving gangs. Like many children whose taste buds resist anything that ain't butter and skitty, Ellie hates the smell of coffee, and Joel slurps it just to spite her. Remember, in the QZ, things like coffee would be particularly difficult to come by. Smugglers like Joel and Tess couldn't even get chicken, so he must be really enjoying some of Bill's coffee supply. Now look at Ellie's roadmap. There is a red mark in the middle of western Pennsylvania, not exactly on Pittsburgh, which would be right to the left of that mark. Pittsburgh is pretty much south of Erie, Pennsylvania, Erie being along the coast of Lake Erie. So it actually looks like they're taking 70 west beyond Pittsburgh, actually. I'm mentioning Pittsburgh because the next stage of the game would take you to Pittsburgh after leaving Bill's, but I have a feeling this series is gonna alter the geography. More on that in a bit. Now, even if you don't have a writing job, you're gonna have to write an email, a Slack message, or something along those lines, and it's important to feel confident that your message sounds professional and the way you want it to when you send it off. Well, Grammarly can help with that. Grammarly's communication assistants can help with everything from comprehensive spelling to grammar, all the way to tone. The main thing I do after I send an email is worry about whether I was too direct or too polite, too weird, or I don't know, it's some kind of communication anxiety there, and you'll get the picture. But Grammarly's premium confident tone suggestions ensure that I come across as confident, capable, and sure. It helps me to be less wishy-washy when I'm trying to wrangle everybody for a meeting or keep that meeting tight so I can make it to a movie screening. That's a big positive. Your tone matters, especially when you're working with multiple colleagues. Building those strong work relationships with a confident tone will help you move your projects along and get your work done on time. Grammarly works where you work, so it's easy to incorporate into your daily life. It seamlessly integrates into apps like Google Docs and Microsoft Word. The right tone can move your projects forward with the help of Grammarly. Go to grammarly.com/newrockstars to sign up for an account, and if you'd like to level up your writing and tone, upgrade to Grammarly Premium for 20% off. Joel and Ellie's truck drives past a train bridge that has collapsed, the train car in the end dangling over the side. I'm curious to know what happened here, because it sounds like it only took a couple weeks in September 2003 for the infection to wipe out most of everyone, and I think that would have been too soon for the infrastructure to collapse like this. And even if the train got overridden by infected people, like what we assume happened on the plane that we saw last episode, the whole bridge wouldn't have collapsed underneath the train like this. So two options I see here. A, some folks tried to activate the train years after Outbreak Day to get somewhere and the bridge didn't hold up, and if so, I would love to see that story someday. Or B, shortly after the Outbreak Day, some folks were traveling by train and there was a fear that they might be infected, so the government bombed this bridge as they were crossing it. And if so, I also really want to see that story someday. Joel and Ellie get lost in a city where a guy asks for help. Joel sees it's a trap and pulls away, but runs over a nail strip and they crash. I think this city is actually Kansas City. This ruined, boarded up town where spray painted militia trucks patrol looks a lot like the one we saw in the trailer where Joel and Ellie were hiding from those trucks behind a car, and on that car's license plate, it is a Kansas license plate with a WY that stands for Wyandotte County on Kansas plates. We actually see that same car in this same street later in this episode 4 trailer. And this trailer also shows Melanie Linsky's character named Kathleen, who's a new character to the story, reported to be the leader of a Kansas City revolutionary movement. By the way, I love seeing Linsky in this role, especially since she's now playing a post-survivalist and former cannibal on Yellow Jackets. But it's hard to tell from Ellie's map when they're lost in the city. I think though it might be Kansas City. And that would be the reason Joel says to look at the city map and not the state map, because this city sits on the border of Missouri and Kansas. And so the Kansas parts of the city wouldn't appear on a map of Missouri and vice versa. Let's move on to the rest of the trailer.
This has gone too far. It has to stop.
Where is he?
We'll get through this.
I know.
Okay, here we see more of the Kansas City Revolutionary Movement trucks with a plow with the word "run" painted on it. This trailer and the preseason trailer showed some armed soldiers of this militia kicking in doors, going house to house. There was also in that preseason trailer a truck with "We the People" painted on the side of it and the Fedra logo X'd out. So yeah, this group is not Fedra, some group fighting Fedra like the Fireflies, but not the Fireflies exactly. And this group has successfully taken over Kansas City. We see Joel walking through a roadblock while nearby an ambulance, a school bus, and a city bus have all been left abandoned, and an unknown man begs for his life to Kathleen as she holds a gun to his head as she asks, where is he? Now, Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin confirm that Kathleen is a new character, a leader of a group of hunters from the game. They're probably referring to the hunter gang that takes over Pittsburgh in the game after overthrowing Fedra, a group that had even turned on Firefly agitators. These guys are some real assholes. It just looks like the series is taking everything that happens in Pittsburgh in the game and instead relocates it all to Kansas City. Why are they doing this? Well, maybe it's a geographical timeline question, like they wanted to move Joel and Ellie halfway across the country at this stage of their journey. Maybe shooting in Kansas City was easier than shooting in Pittsburgh. But the two most memorable characters from Pittsburgh in the game are the brothers Henry and Sam, and we know the characters are going to be in Kansas City in the show. I'm not spoiling anything. HBO actually confirmed this in a press release last summer, which lists that the two boys are in hiding from this revolutionary movement in Kansas City. Maybe these are the ones Kathleen is looking for, but why is she looking for them? So the preseason trailer shots of Joel and Ellie with Henry and Sam in a location covered in drawings of castle. Yeah, probably Henry and Sam's hideout, as well as the shot of the two brothers hugging. In this episode 4 trailer, Joel takes the butt of a gun and uppercuts a kid with a shotgun in a laundromat. The kid's shotgun goes off, and this trailer ends with Joel saying they'll get through this and Ellie saying, "I know," which of course is Han Solo or "I love you." But Ellie being confident that Joel will get them through this just shows that she knows they're capable of taking care of each other better than anyone else is trying to kill them. Ellie may be naive, but that blind optimism is really what Joel needs to move forward at this stage. Oh, by the way, I have been wearing Joel's iconic Flint in Tinder wax canvas trucker jacket from Huckberry. You can buy your own from Huckberry by clicking the link in the description to support New Rockstars last week's coverage, and a reminder to subscribe to the deep dive and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.